this, you can fully expect a 0-0 draw, because Liverpool against Tottenham Hotspur is the highest scoring fixture in Premier League history with 209 goals. Liverpool have scored 127 of these, with only the Reds themselves netting more against a specific opponent in the competition, having scored 131 times against Newcastle United in the Premier League. Here's Dragusin though for Tottenham, driving towards the halfway on this left-hand side. Just stops as he passes the whitewash into Liverpool territory. Here's Jed Spence driving at Dominic Szoboszlai, moves it infield and now out towards the path of Matthias Tell. That was after a couple of touches from Sarr, and one of Tell's touches to try and advance his way towards the penalty area on the left-hand side. Cross the line, and so the ball will head out for a Liverpool throw, right-hand side, adjacent towards the edge of the penalty area that they're defending. 2.5 minutes gone here at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0, and you are listening to the Premier League here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Our 4:30 offering from the top flight this afternoon. Ryan Gravenberch being upended by Richarlison. Liverpool for free kick, 15 yards on the edge of Tottenham territory. For Igor Tudor, things couldn't get any worse. His results so far: 4-1 loss to Arsenal, a 2-1 loss to Fulham, defeat last weekend, and then that 5-2 defeat to Atletico Madrid in the Champions League in midweek. Here's Jeremy Frimpong back towards the path of Ryan Gravenberch. Right side, 25 yards out from goal. Back to Szoboszlai, infield towards Virgil van Dijk. Robertson being chased by Sousa. And now Ungamoa up against Pedro Porro. Gets on the inside of him and plays it back towards Van Dijk once more. Towards Robertson. And now back to Van Dijk. Infield to McAllister. Szoboszlai back towards Joe Gomez. In and around the centre circle. Virgil van Dijk again here for Liverpool. Robertson. Tottenham keeping every man back, and Liverpool finding it difficult to break him down. Almost found that pass, Van Dijk through the centre to Gravenberch, but it's won back by Archie Gray, who begins to send Tottenham upfield. Plays a nice ball in towards the path of Tell, but Szoboszlai read it well and knocks it back towards the goalkeeper Alisson, whose clearance came off the head of Gomez, but Liverpool still have it. Frimpong towards Wirtz, was being put under pressure by Jed Spence, but Wirtz will play it back in towards the path of Van Dijk, inside the centre circle here for Liverpool. Robertson out towards Ungamoa, with Pedro Porro keeping him close company towards his far touchline. Ungamoa back to Van Dijk again. And now Joe Gomez in possession for Liverpool. Shorten out wide to the right-hand side. Jeremy Frimpong with it, moving infield towards the edge of the penalty area. Look to play it back towards the path of Gravenberch. Frimpong looking to feed in Gakpo at his back to goal edge of the area. Cleared only as far as McAllister. And out to Ungamoa on this left-hand side. 25 yards out from goal, up against Sousa. Ungamoa drives past him, looks to get the ball into the penalty area, but stops short of the byline. Brings it back towards Robertson. Cross goes in left-footed, dangerous. Not fully cleared around the 6-yard box by Jed Spence. Liverpool come away with it. Frimpong, edge of the area. Cross goes in. Half cleared by Dragusin. Tell will get it away towards Solanke, who's brought down by Joe Gomez as he was heading up the field, but no foul in the eyes of the referee, Chris Kavanagh. Szoboszlai to Frimpong. Right side edge of the area. Cross goes into the back post, but it's just too high for Cody Gakpo, and it will go out of play for a goal kick. Well, Liverpool were appealing for a penalty for a potential handball against Jed Spence. His left elbow does connect with the ball, but he's trying to tuck it in, and it comes off of his right knee onto that left elbow. Now, I know that margins in terms of penalty calls in recent times have become rather more stringent, but I think there'll be one or two people that'll be saying, let's just take the ball and head on home if that was given as a spot kick. Szoboszlai with possession here for Liverpool, right side edge of his own penalty area, driving past Jed Spence, will flick it out to the left-hand side and towards the path of Andy Robertson, directly in the sun. Just a little pocket on that left-hand side of our picture, on the far side towards the Anfield Road end, covered in sun. That will drift as the half goes on. Van Dijk infield towards Joe Gomez, approaching the halfway for Liverpool. Out to Gravenberch on the right-hand side, 10 yards inside Tottenham Hotspur territory. Gravenberch out towards the path of Frimpong, infield to Szoboszlai. Now Ungamoa again under pressure from Jed Spence. One back by him. Tell goes to ground. One back fairly. And the ball will go out of play. Heavy touch by Jeremy Frimpong. And it's going to be a throw into Tottenham Hotspur on this left-hand side, 10 yards from the edge of Liverpool territory. 6.5 minutes gone here at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0 here in the Premier League on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Tottenham with possession on the left-hand side, just beyond halfway. Recovered well by McAllister, who's under pressure from Sarr. Wins it back, here's Tell. Up against the Bosley by this corner on the near flank. Tried to keep in towards the byline. Tried to do some tricks and flicks, did Matthias Tell, to try and get the better of Szoboszlai, but ended up kind of tripping over himself, and the ball go out of play for a Liverpool goal kick. 7 gone, 0-0. Well, it hasn't been the most enlightening of afternoons across the Premier League. 3 2 o'clock kickoffs, and 2 of them finished goalless. And the 2 games that did finish goalless were not good news for Tottenham Hotspur, as Szoboszlai's cleaned Matthias Tell out as he tried to clear the ball on this right-hand side. Matthias Tell close by to him. He's gone down to the ground rather windedly. I don't actually know whether it was his stomach or his head that connected with the ball, but they will go through the protocols and procedures. It does look a little bit worse aware, Matthias Tell. Haven't seen a replay of the incident yet on our monitor, but it was just a routine clearance from Dominic Szoboszlai. I was looking to punt it upfield from the right-hand side, the edge of the penalty area that he's trying to defend in this opening period. But as I say, the 2 0-0 results going against Tottenham. Leeds getting a credible point at Palace with 10 men for the entirety of the second half, and Nottingham Forest getting a 0-0 draw at the City ground against Fulham, which means that Spurs are now level on points with them too. In the other game, Manchester United strengthened their bid for a top 4 finish, moving up to 3rd in the Premier League table, having got the better of Aston Villa by 3 goals to 1. All the goals coming in the second half. Casemiro scoring in the 53rd minute, Ross Barkley equalising for Villa in the 64th, and then 2 goals 10 minutes apart from one another. Matthias Cunha making it 2-1 with just under 20 minutes to go, and then the 81st minute, Benjamin Sesko making sure of the points for Michael Carrick's side. And so that means Manchester United will move up to 3rd place in the table. Liverpool can leapfrog Villa into 4th with victory this afternoon. 8.5 gone here, goalless between Liverpool and Tottenham Hotspur, and Tottenham down to 10. Matthias Tell having to wait the allotted 30 seconds before coming back on the field of play. Elsewhere in the Women's League Cup, that was the final this afternoon at Ashton Gate, and many congratulations to Chelsea, who got the better of Manchester United by 2 goals to 0 to pick up the first piece of domestic silverware in the women's game this season. The Carabao Cup final is this time next week between Arsenal and Manchester City, live here on Flash Score. Tottenham pick up possession inside the centre circle. Pat Sarr with it, out to Jed Spence on the left. Matthias Tell back up on his feet, back on the pitch, and back in possession. Sarr out towards Tell again. 25 yards out on this left-hand side. Look at the dry pass to Bosley, but the Liverpool number 8 does well to recover possession. Gomez being shoved in the back by Solanke, but manages to play it back to Alisson, who launches it upfield. Tottenham temporarily won it back, and now Liverpool looking to move here. Ball slipped in towards the path of Wirtz. He's got Gakpo in support. Wirtz to Gakpo inside the area, has a shot on his left foot, but manages to scuff it, and it goes into the second row of the Kop. First real opening that Liverpool have had as we approach the 10-minute mark here at Anfield. As a simple through ball by Ryan Gravenberch in towards the path of Florian Wirtz. Then slipped in Cody Gakpo inside the penalty area, being kept touch tight by Pedro Porro, and he just completely mishits his effort on his left foot, and into the Kop it went. 10 minutes gone here at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0 here in the Premier League on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Here's Pat Sarr for Tottenham on the halfway, up against Florian Wirtz. Out to Pedro Porro, just beyond the half. Porro plays it short to Sousa. Sousa towards Porro again. And this, Kevin Danso. Out to Dragusin, not the best passes into him, but manages to keep his footing together to keep a hold of it for Tottenham. Short to Spence, back to Dragusin again. Forward towards the halfway, where it's glanced on by Solanke. Chested down by Richarlison on his left side. Infield towards Solanke. Gets the better of Gomez, but falls out wide to the left. Inside the box, Solanke pulls it back towards the byline. And Sousa just couldn't quite get there in and around the 6-yard box. And Liverpool able to clear their lines. Best opening of the game so far, falling to Tottenham Hotspur. But Sousa couldn't quite get any kind of connection in and around the 6-yard box. Solanke doing all the hard work, and Tottenham win it back again. Sousa, he's going to strike one from distance. Best part of 25 yards out on his left foot, parried away by Alisson, and out for a Tottenham corner on the left-hand side. Well, that much more like it from Tottenham. Liverpool again rather sloppy at the back. Sousa in space around about 25 yards out down the centre, decided to try his luck. Struck it left-footed, decent strike. Alisson had to parry it away. And the first corner of the game is a Tottenham one down this left side. Coming up to the 13th minute, 0-0. If there's one thing Spurs have been good at this season, it has been scoring from corners. 14 goals from corners this term. Only their bitter rivals Arsenal with 16 have more. Swung in from the left side towards the back post, glanced on, and Papsar with a telling touch, which glances just wide of the right hand post, so inside the 6-yard box for Tottenham. Well, they are dangerous on set pieces, and Papsar at the back post, a header which comes off the back of Ryan Gravenberch at the near stick, which is why they're not happy that there wasn't a corner. And up the other end, Jeremy Frimpong for Liverpool finds himself on the edge of the penalty area, but Jed Spence with a big right boot to knock it away, and out for a Liverpool throw adjacent towards the edge of the Tottenham Hotspur penalty area. 12.5 gone, 0-0, and suddenly we're getting a bit of a pace towards this contest. End-to-end stuff here at Anfield. Szoboszlai back towards Joe Gomez. Here's Van Dijk inside the centre circle for Arne Slot's men. Here's Dominic Szoboszlai back to Gomez once more. He's on the halfway. Van Dijk's in the centre circle with Richarlison keeping him close company. Here's Gomez again, back infield towards Virgil van Dijk. Andy Robertson in possession now. Out to the left and towards Ngamoa, who's got Pedro Porro close by to him. Ngamoa back to Andy Robertson, 10 yards inside Tottenham territory. Here's Van Dijk towards the halfway for Liverpool. Out to Ngamoa, who's got Sousa up against him, gets on the inside of him. Robertson inside the area, looked to play in Gakpo, back to goal, couldn't quite get there, comes only as far as McAllister. Here's Gravenberch for Liverpool, with Sosa close by, back to McAllister again. Cross goes in right-footed, and it's going to be a comfortable take for Vicario in the Tottenham goal. First touch that he's had of the ball, it feels, this afternoon as we approach the 14-minute mark here. Liverpool 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0 in the Premier League on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Ball one back, high up by Szoboszlai into the air towards Wirtz, inside the air, but good touch from Archie Gray to take it away from him. He punts it upfield, but Charlotte's unable to chase on the half, and so Van Dijk will play it back in towards the possession of Alisson. Out to Szoboszlai, right side edge of the penalty area. Back to Alisson, launching it forward towards the halfway on his right boot. Wirtz makes chase, but Dragusin's going to get there first. He'll play it back towards Vicario. Not the best of passes back towards his goalkeeper, but good feet from him. Manages to see it back out towards the Tottenham number 3, towards the half, but Tell loses out on the halfway. Then he grapples Szoboszlai to the ground. Liverpool free kick, right-hand side towards the halfway as we approach the 15-minute mark. You're listening to the Premier League here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. We're here at Anfield on this Sunday afternoon. Liverpool 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Two teams who need points for different reasons. Liverpool to keep up their chase of the top 4. Tottenham to stay afloat in the Premier League. Jed Spence and Jeremy Frimpong for battle on this near side. Jed Spence claiming the final touch as it goes out of play for Liverpool. Corner on the right in front of the Kop. Or at least that's what it should have been. In fact, it's gone out for a goal kick. We're just having a look at the incident again, and well, yes, Spence definitely gets the last touch. Him and Frimpong contesting the same ball. Spence with the last touch as he went out towards the Kop end, but it's a goal kick. This, of course, the second conspicuous corner kick / goal kick decision that we've seen over the course of the last few minutes. It has evened out at one apiece, in fairness. Solanke out to Tell, left side edge of the penalty area for Tottenham Hotspur, who's got Dominic Szoboszlai for company. Back towards Spence, gets on the inside of Wirtz, he shapes himself up to shoot on his right foot, takes a deflection, back to Sarr, and now Dragusin on the halfway. Out to Porro, back inside his own territory, now back towards his goalkeeper Vicario, who launches it forward, right-footed, towards Szoboszlai, who picks it up in the middle of his own half and dinks it back towards the possession of Alisson. Well, Tottenham's record here, and Tottenham's record against Liverpool altogether, is not good. They've won just one of their last 16 Premier League games against Liverpool, drawing 3 losing twice, and they've lost the last 4 in a row since a 2-1 home win back in September 2023. So if they are to pick up the points this afternoon, they're going to have to overcome a wretched record against the Reds. Allison punted the ball upfield, only half cleared by Tottenham. Here's McAllister, who gets the better of 2, then tripped by Archie Gray. Free kick to Liverpool, just off centre on this left-hand side, around about 25 yards out from the Tottenham goal. Tottenham, who since the turn of the year, perhaps unsurprisingly, bottom of the form guide. Their last win of any description domestically came back December the 28th when they got the better of Crystal Palace by the odd goal. Couldn't keep it out. There's just something about Szoboszlai and free kicks in front of the Kop this season. It's the third beauty he has hit towards that end this term, and Liverpool 18 minutes in have the lead. It's Liverpool 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0, and it is Dominic Szoboszlai with his 5th Premier League goal of the season. Well, he hits this crisply, as you'd expect. Their sources of cheer has mainly come from Dominic Szoboszlai. Another beautiful crisp free kick, and the home side have the lead at Anfield. And you get the sense that even at this early stage of the contest, it is a long way back for Tottenham Hotspur. Coming up to the 20th minute, Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0. And here's Dominic Szoboszlai's 18th minute goal that is the difference between the two. Tottenham punt the ball upfield, but out of play it will go for a Liverpool goal kick, which will be taken by Virgil van Dijk on the edge of the 6-yard box. Out towards the right it goes. Szoboszlai couldn't quite keep it in, and so Tottenham get a throw. Dragusin will play it back towards Vicario. 20 minutes played here. Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0, and you're listening to the Premier League here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Ball launched upfield towards the half. Glanced on by Van Dijk. Gravenberch in space. Gravenberch, he might shake one up himself. He does! On his right foot from the edge of the tee, but high over the top right-hand crossbar and into the Kop. And Tottenham now are under siege. Gravenberch in acres of space, driving towards the penalty area, decided to have a curled effort on his right foot. And over the top right-hand corner it went by a couple of yards. Decent opportunity. And Spurs now got to see out this storm. Well, into the 20th minute of the contest, and just like the rest of the season, the corners of Anfield applaud Diogo Jota, their forever number 20, who helped them win number 20. And a poignant afternoon as well, because it was against Tottenham last season where 5-1 win wrapped up the league title for Liverpool last term. But Tottenham, a few weeks later, of course, they'll go on to lift the Europa League title, getting the better of Manchester United in the final. How things have changed since. Ange Postecoglou was dismissed, Thomas Frank came in, he now departing, and it is the Tudor era at Tottenham Hotspur. But you get the sense that a 5th consecutive defeat will spell the end of that before it ever got started. They will face Atletico Madrid in the Champions League in midweek, a game you can listen to live here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service on Wednesday evening, and then that crunch game against Nottingham Forest next Sunday. Again, you can listen to that live of us. Frimpong playing the ball infield from the right-hand side, in towards the possession of Cody Gakpo, who was upended by Dragusin. Liverpool free kick, 30 yards out, right-hand side. And it is Szoboszlai over it, but he'll fizz this one in as opposed to going for goal from this kind of distance and from this kind of angle. He's going to whip it in, right-footed. And Tottenham again having to be wary of a Liverpool set piece. 22.5 gone, Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0. Szoboszlai's free kick swung in towards the penalty. It's perfectly pinned into the area, but cleared away by Jagusin, but only half cleared. Ungamoa, edge of the area, manages to find Gravenberch, turning back to goal. Wirtz into the area, McAllister does well to keep his footing together. Two up against him, out to Wirtz. And now back to Szoboszlai again, 25 yards out. Pinpoint ball in towards the back post. Nobody there. Ungamoa tries to keep it in play. Just about does so. And Tottenham switch off, but the ball did go dead. The linesman eventually putting his flag up. And it will be a Tottenham Hotspur throw out on this. 18th minute, the difference between these two, and you get the sense already the Wolves are closing in on Igor Tudor, who is making a lot of hand gestures and doing a lot of shouting in the Tottenham Hotspur technical area. Igor Tudor, who does feel like there's a little bit more application about this Tottenham team today, and I suppose to a certain extent it's a little bit of a damning indictment of a side if you're mentioning words like effort as a part of the way a team is going about their business. Here's Gravenberch back towards the path of Joe Gomez. Gomez infield towards Virgil van Dijk in the centre. Van Dijk plays it out towards Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai towards Frimpong. Back to Cody Gakpo, who's coming deep here. Does win Liverpool throw on this right side. 5 yards on the edge of the Tottenham half, right in front of Igor Tudor, who's just outside his technical area. The Tottenham Hotspur interim head coach. Gomez to Van Dijk. As we pass the 25-minute mark here at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0 here in the Premier League on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. And Gamoa with Pedro Porro close by. Gets on the inside of him on the left side. Getting the better of Charlison too. Flicks it out to the right. Frimpong edge of the area. Good first touch to control it on his right foot. Up against Jed Spence. Inside the box he goes. Hooks it back towards Dominic Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai towards Gomez. Cross goes in. Glanced away by Porro before finding Robertson. Van Dijk wins it back and it goes out towards Wirtz. Here's Ngamoa. Now towards McAllister. McAllister towards Gakpo, who lines one up on his right foot. Comes off a Tottenham player, comes off a Danso, and out of play will go for Liverpool throw on the right hand side in the middle of the Tottenham Hotspur half. Danso down on the ground, feeling the sting of that particular effort. Wobbling back up gingerly. It's his left leg that appears to be the problem. Well, Liverpool have certainly been positive in their play. In fact, both teams have been rather positive in their play, has to be said. Here is Gomez towards Dominic Szoboszlai. Infield towards Virgil van Dijk, towards the halfway here for Liverpool. Towards the left and towards Ngamoa. Heavy touch from him, couldn't quite control it. And the ball will head out of play for Tottenham Hotspur throw. Well, if Tottenham have been able to get anything this season, it has been on the road. They've earned 19 of their 29 points in the Premier League this season away from home. That's a ratio of 66%. In the competition's history, only Ipswich last season, 68% of their points, 15 for 22. And Crystal Palace in the 1997-98 season, where he picked up 67% of their points, 22 out of 33 have ever earned a larger share of their points on the road than this current Tottenham Hotspur team. They have a free kick to be taken by Archie Gray, short towards Pat Sarr, 15 yards from the edge of Liverpool territory. Gray back towards the path of Danso. Danso to Pedro Porro. But on the floor on his right foot, but loses out on the halfway. Joe Gomez picking it up for Liverpool. Robertson to McAllister. Now towards Szoboszlai, driving beyond the halfway here for the Reds. Infield towards Gakpo, back to goal towards McAllister, pings it out towards Ungamoa, edge of the penalty area on this left-hand side, driving it Souza, looking to get on the inside of him, he does, cross goes in right-footed towards the penalty spot, glanced away, but will come back out towards Szoboszlai. Wirtz, infield to Frimpong, Wirtz looking to find McAllister, but Richarlison gets in there and gets away. Tell looking to drive down this left-hand side to counter for Tottenham, up against Szoboszlai. Good battle between them two on this near side. Tell just stopping, and then Wirtz coming in to win it back midway inside his own half for Liverpool on the right side as they move forward. Szoboszlai towards Van Dijk in the centre, middle of his own half, out towards Andy Robertson on the left for Liverpool, who will play it back to home and play it back towards the possession of Alisson Becker inside his own penalty area here for the Reds. Short towards the path of Gravenberg. Here's Van Dijk inside his own penalty area, stretches just outside it now towards McAllister, back to the possession of Alisson again. Joe Gomez back to Alisson once again. Van Dijk inside his own penalty area, being pressed by Solanke. Robertson forward towards the path of Gakpo, loses out to Spence, but one back by Ungamoa, but the challenge by Gakpo on Spence was an illegal one in the eyes of the referee Chris Kavanagh. So Spurs are a free kick on the right hand side, just beyond the halfway, just inside Liverpool territory. As we approach the half-hour mark here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service from Anfield in the Premier League. It's Dominic Szoboszlai's 18th minute free kick, which is the difference between the two teams. Liverpool 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0 here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. But Spurs with a free kick on this right-hand side, just beyond the halfway. And it's taken short by Porro. Possibly a player towards the edge of the penalty area for Tottenham. Spence is going to visit in and out towards the left-hand side. Too heavy for Archie Gray. And so we'll go out for a Liverpool throw-in adjacent towards the penalty spot of the penalty area that they're defending on the right-hand side as they move forward in this first half. We have now passed the half-hour mark here at Anfield. Szoboszlai over this throw-in. Igor Tudor again demonstrating the instructions in the Tottenham Hotspur technical area. Szoboszlai plays it short towards Wirtz. Szoboszlai will clear it forward towards the halfway, but it's going to be one back by Pedro Porro, who pings it forward looking to find Richarlison, but Van Dijk does well to block him off, and then Alisson comfortably collects and then recycles it out quickly, but Robertson couldn't get the better of Porro. He'll play it back towards Vicario. Kicks it away, but it's one back high up by McAllister. Out to Robertson. Gakpo edge of the air on this left-hand side. Up against Danso. Hooks the ball in. Flicked away by Sarr. And it's going to go out of play for Liverpool corner on the left-hand side. Safety first for Pat Sarr. Heading it out of play. And now Tottenham have another set piece to defend. Out on the left. It will be taken. First corner of the game for Liverpool. Scored from that brilliant Szoboszlai free kick in the 18th minute of this contest, and now looking to double up the account for the afternoon. Gomez, Robertson, Van Dijk and McAllister all loitering inside the 6-yard box. Fizzed in towards that near post, flicked away by Solanke, back in by Gravenberg, glanced on by Van Dijk towards the penalty spot, where it's flicked away by Souza, glanced on by Ungamoa, and Szoboszlai will play it back towards the possession of Jeremy Frimpong. On the halfway for Liverpool, driving out to the right-hand side. Now here's Gravenberg. Gravenberg back to Gomez, Gomez towards Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai in possession for Liverpool, plays it short towards Wirtz. Szoboszlai again. Out towards the left and towards Ungamoa, who's got Jed Spence close by to him. Ungamoa, edge of the area. On his right foot, moves inside. Wirtz flicks it over the top. Ungamoa with a little bit of a shove on Spence, or the other way round, shall I say, but all fair in the eyes of the referee, and the ball will go out of play for Tottenham Hotspur goal kick. 32.5 gone, 1-0 Liverpool lead. Against a Tottenham Hotspur side who have lost each of their last 5 Premier League games, only in February 1994 with 7 and in November 2004 with 6. Have they ever suffered 6 or more successive defeats in their league history? And all the ball towards the half, but Gravenberch with a touch to win it back, but he's only going to go as far as Sousa. We'll watch it go out on the halfway for Tottenham Hotspur throwing. A chance for them just to regiment things a little bit more. It's going to be Pedro Porro to take this Tottenham throw-in. 5 yards inside Liverpool territory, short to Archie Gray, back to Porro again. In turn finds Kevin Danso. Danso towards Vicario. Vicario out to Dragusin, who's been put under pressure by Gakpo. The pressure nearly told, but Dragusin managed to get away with it on this near side. Forward towards the possession of Tell, who loses out towards Szoboszlai. Forward it goes towards Wirtz. Wirtz inside the area here for Liverpool. Stops, turns, plays out to Ungamoa inside space. Shot on his left foot, comes off of Porro and cleared away by Richarlison for Tottenham Hotspur. Well, Tottenham again almost getting caught cold at the back, and Liverpool almost able to take full advantage of which. Sousa goes down under the challenge of Florian Wirtz, and Tottenham will come away with a free kick on the right hand side in the middle of their own half, and they can just calm things down. We're just having a look at Szoboszlai's through ball in towards the path of Wirtz. Just stopped and then played it infield towards Ungamoa. Had a shot on his left foot, came off of Pedro Porro, and then Richarlison was looking to begin the break, and then the ball will go out to Sousa, who will be fouled. And the ball will now, from the free kick, go back towards Vicario between the sticks for Tottenham Hotspur. Pedestrianly moving the ball forwards. And now out towards Dragusin on this left side. And that's a poor pass to Spence, which goes out of play for a Liverpool throw on the right. And it's taken quickly. Gravenberch, who is upended by Dragusin. It's a free kick to Liverpool, around about 25 yards out, right hand side. And Igor Tudor is going nuts. He's now gone towards his seat. He's stamping his feet, having an argument with his assistant. And in terms of time of the last touch in the opposition box, Tottenham haven't had a touch there since the 11th minute of this contest. We are now into the 35th minute of it, and Liverpool with a free kick in a dangerous position. 25-30 yards out. Szoboszlai to take on his right foot, and he's going to swing it in towards the penalty area. 10 minutes to go until the break. Szoboszlai's free kick on the right hand side, swung in, flicked away this time by Tottenham. Robertson and Spence chasing for the second ball, and it's a Tottenham man that gets there first, and Gamoa is also trying to put pressure on him, but Tottenham do come away with it. But then Richarlison loses out. McAllister picks it up high up. Gakpo has a strike off the post on his right foot from just inside the area. Ricocheted off the bottom of the left-hand post. It came back out. Right. No one in a red shirt could get there, and Tottenham clear their lines. But what an opportunity that was for Cody Gakpo to double the account for Liverpool. Richarlison losing it high up on the pitch. Gravenberch winning it back. McAllister in towards the path of Gakpo. Good strike through the lace of his right foot. Took a deflection of Dragusin. It's a brilliant save actually for Vicario. Gets his right hand to it to palm it onto the post and to stop Liverpool from doubling their leads here at Anfield. It's one of them where when you see it the second time you can appreciate how good a work the goalkeeper's done to keep it out. It looked like from the naked eye on the first glance it just came straight off the post, but Vicario's done so well there in the Tottenham Hotspur goal to keep the deficit down to just one. Dragusin on the halfway out towards Spence on the left, up against Jeremy Frimpong. Spence switching it out towards the right hand side, looking to find Sousa, but Robertson will chest it down in towards the path of Alisson, who will comfortably collect between the sticks. Cycles it out towards Robertson's path. On the halfway, plays it forward, looking to find Gakpo, but it's snuffed out by Danso. The one back by Cody Gakpo for Liverpool. Robertson infield to McAllister, to Robertson again on the left side. 10 yards inside Tottenham territory. Here's Gakpo out towards Ungamoa for Liverpool. Infield towards Gakpo again. Being tripped by Richarlison. One back by Solanke. Does well, does the Tottenham number 19, and then the ball will go out of play for Liverpool throw down their left side. Infield it goes towards the possession of McAllister. Out to Dominic Szoboszlai on this right side. Here's Jeremy Frimpong in possession, edge of the area, up against Spence. Frimpong forces it out wide and then pokes the ball goal bound, hits the side netting, says there was a touch en route, but the decision from the linesman who is on that near side is that of goal kick. 37.5 minutes played, Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0 here in the Premier League on the Flash Score live audio commentary service. Another busy week of European action across Flash Score. On Tuesday night, we've got Arsenal against Bayer Leverkusen, Chelsea against PSG, and Manchester City against Real Madrid, all live here across the Flash Score live audio commentary service. Our coverage gets underway from 8 p.m. and then same drill on Wednesday night as Barcelona take on Newcastle, Bayern against Atalanta, Liverpool against Galatasaray, and Tottenham against Atletico Madrid. 8 o'clock starts for all of those games across the Flash Score app or via flashscore.com. And then on Thursday night we have the Europa and Conference League. Nottingham Forest travelling to Denmark to take on Midtjylland, Aston Villa hosting Lille, and in the Europa Conference League, Larnaca against Palace. As Liverpool looked to break, but the pass from McAllister towards Frimpong was thwarted. Here's Matthias Tell up against the Bosley. Last touch coming, according to the linesman, off the Tottenham man. It was a disputed throw which goes Liverpool's way. Gravenberch back in towards the path for Joe Gomez. Gomez out towards Van Dijk now, 10 yards from the edge of Tottenham Hotspur territory. Gomez again back towards Van Dijk once more. Here's Andy Robertson. Robertson back to Van Dijk. Van Dijk to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai finds Gomez, and Gomez out towards the possession of Virgil van Dijk once more. McAllister back to Florian Wirtz. Wirtz pings it out, chested down by Frimpong on this right hand side. 15 yards side Tottenham territory, brings it in field from that right hand side. Back towards the Szoboszlai in the centre. Gravenberch, the ball goes back about 5 yards. McAllister with options out on the left, finds Robertson, and now Ungamoa, who again is up against Porro, looking to get on the inside of him again. Does so easily. Right footed, plays across the face of the penalty area, across the floor, but it's easily cleared away by Papsar. Punted upfield. Alisson will pick it up and he'll play it short to Van Dijk towards the halfway. Out towards the left it goes again. Robertson infield towards Florian Wirtz. Wirtz towards McAllister. Chipped over the top. Looking to find Robertson, who was looking to play it back towards Gakpo's path. Tottenham not clearing it away cleanly, but Matthias Tell has it, and now they look to break forward on this left-hand side. Spence busting a gut, wanted it, didn't quite get there, will eventually fall for him, but Szoboszlai is going to pick it up first, back to Alisson, who will clear it away in the Liverpool goal. And it will go for a Tottenham Hotspur throw on the left-hand side, 30 yards out from the Liverpool goal. 5 minutes to go in this first half. Dominik Szoboszlai's 18th minute free kick, the difference between the two teams. Liverpool 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0 here in the Premier League on the Flash Score live audio commentary service. Porro back to Danso. Danso out to Dragusin. Dragusin will play it back towards Vicario between the sticks. Vicario, who again just taking his time over possession, will now punt it forward right-footed beyond the halfway. Szoboszlai will leave it for Alisson to grab a hold of. Here is Gravenberch, who goes down on the challenge of Papsar, but all fine in the eyes of the referee. Van Dijk out towards the possession of Andy Robertson. Robertson finds Ungamoa up against Porro, gets on the inside of him. Rio Ungamoa driving past Porro again, now looking to get the better of Sousa, does exactly that. Rio Ungamoa doing really well, but Porro tracks back, takes a touch just to knock him off balance a little bit, but manages to play the ball back. Van Dijk towards Alexis McAllister, 30 yards out to Ungamoa again on this left side, edge of the penalty area for Liverpool. Short to Robertson, back to goal. Towards McAllister, 25 yards out. Szoboszlai in the centre, short to Wirtz. Everybody back in the fluorescent yellow shirts of Tottenham Hotspur this afternoon. Van Dijk to Ungamoa with Sousa up against him. Gets the better of him, showing him on the outside, then shoved to the floor Ungamoa, and it's going to be a free kick to Liverpool right by the byline on the far side. The left as they move forward, and it's right on the edge of the penalty area. And a real opportunity for Szoboszlai down that left flank to fizz one dangerously in towards the penalty area. 3 minutes to go until the break. Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0. And it was Dominik Szoboszlai's free kick in the 18th minute that is the difference between the two teams here. Well, Tottenham will probably just want to see out to half-time with just a goal in the arrears. They have had some bright sparks early on in the game, but nothing tangible since around about the 10th minute. Szoboszlai over this free kick, left side. effectively a corner kick, but about 6 yards in. Szoboszlai's free kick, goes straight for it. Fist around the goal line, but headed away by Dragusin. Will come back out towards Gravenberch. Look to play it forward towards McAllister. Half clear, but back in it goes. Szoboszlai towards Van Dijk, dinks it down. Van Dijk across the face of the penalty area, but neither Gakpo or McAllister could get there. It is going to fall for Ungamoa though on this left side. Up against Porro. Ungamoa steps in field. Verts, good touch to keep control of it. Has a shot, not the cleanest. Still around the box, but Spence up against Robertson is going to watch it go for a goal kick. Van Dijk was appealing for the fact that he felt that Spence got a touch this before it went out of play. But we're just having a look at replay of that, and no, it is a goal kick. There has been a couple of questionable goal kick, corner kick calls in this first half, has to be said, but that's not one of them. Final 90 seconds or so of this first half. Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0 here in the Premier League on the Flash Score live audio commentary service. Vicario's going to launch this upfield beyond the halfway. It's going to be glanced by Solanke, chested down by Richarlison. Richarlison edge of the area. Szoboszlai does well, but Sousa seizes the ball back for Tottenham. Tell left hand side, cross goes in, glanced on by Richarlison in and around the 6-yard box, but just wide of the right hand post by a couple of yards. Best opportunity that Tottenham Hotspur have had so far, and it was the willingness of Sousa to not give up on the ball. He wins it back towards the byline, back towards Tell on the left hand side. The ball goes in right footed to Richarlison in and around the 6-yard box. He was a bit off balance, but manages to get his header away. Glass header towards the bottom right hand corner, but past that post by a couple of yards. And that probably would have been a real bonus for Igor Tudor's side if they could have got back level at half time, the way they've been outplayed for large swathes of this opening period. Final few seconds of normal time at the end of this first half, and Liverpool still with a lead, a slender lead by a goal to nil. Don't forget that you can keep up to date with the final round of the Players' Championship, the unofficial 5th major in golf. Updates and scorecards available via the Flash Score app, which is downloadable via the Apple App Store or Google Play, wherever you get your apps from, as we enter the first of 2 stoppage time minutes here at the end of the first half at Anfield. Liverpool leading by a goal to nil. Dominic Szoboszlai strike the difference. Richarlison trying to ping the ball forward towards Solanke, but too heavy, and straight into the midst of Alisson between the sticks for Liverpool. Well, plenty of live football coming up across the Flash Score app, and don't forget tomorrow night we'll have the final Premier League match of the weekend, and it comes from the G-Tech Community Stadium as Brentford take on Wolverhampton Wanderers. Our live coverage of that gets underway from 8 PM here on the Flash Score live audio commentary service. And then next round of Premier League games gets underway on Friday night as Bournemouth take on Manchester United live from 8 o'clock here on Flash Score. And then next Saturday afternoon, Brighton take on Liverpool in the early kick-off from 12:30. The solitary 3 o'clock game is Fulham against Burnley. And then Everton against Chelsea, Leeds against Brentford. The games at 5:30 and 8 o'clock respectively. And then next Sunday we have the Carabao Cup final for you live from Wembley. The first piece of domestic silverware on offer. Arsenal against Manchester City. Extended build-up through the Flash Score app. And then live commentary from 4:30 next Sunday afternoon. Here's Danso in possession for Tottenham Hotspur. Short towards the possession of Radu Dragusin. He'll play it back to Vicario between the sticks. Vicario to punt it forward, but decides in the next to go short in towards Dragusin. Forward beyond the halfway it goes. Chested down by Gomez, who wins it back for Liverpool. Van Dijk, who loses out, and it's picked up by Sarr. Out towards the possession of Spence. Here's Matthias Tell. Tell on the left-hand side, 2 up against him. Spence could be played in because he was offside. And then Frimpong knocks the ball out for what will be a Tottenham corner on the left-hand side. And as we go beyond the 2 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half, will probably be the final action of this opening period. It's been an end-to-end game for the most part. It's been an entertaining opening period, has to be said. Liverpool with a slender 1-goal lead, but Tottenham with an opportunity at the end of the half to try and get themselves back on terms. It's going to be told to take the corner. Left side, right-footed, in-swinging delivery towards the six-yard box. Starts by Richarlison. Brilliant save from Alisson to parry it away. And then Szoboszlai clearing it away, and that will be the final action of the first half. Richarlison's had a couple of decent chances in the last couple of minutes. He was led detached in and around the penalty spot from the corner, glances it on towards the bottom right-hand corner, parried away by Alisson with both hands. And that the best opportunity Tottenham had conjured up right on the half-time whistle. But it is Liverpool that do lead here at Anfield. Dominic Szoboszlai's free kick in the 18th minute. The difference between the two sides, it was an absolute peach from the best part of 25 yards out into the top left-hand corner. Vicario did get a hand to it but couldn't keep it out. And so at the break here at Anfield, Liverpool lead position, and Sousa's put himself in a spot above it, as too has the Tottenham Hotspur manager Igor Tudor, who is actually the first position person to be yellow carded himself in this afternoon. The Tottenham Hotspur above it, as manager. Well, it's a day all about cards and festivities, and I would like to extend a happy Mother's Day to all the mums watching. And I do take pity if your sons and daughters are listening to this and they're having to stop off at a motorway garage to get the flowers. Poor on them. But thank you so much for tuning in to the Flash Score Live audio commentary service on this Sunday afternoon as Liverpool win the ball back high up on the pitch. It's Florian Wirtz cleared away by Tottenham. They lead Spurs by a goal to nil. Dominic Szoboszlai strike in the 18th minute, the difference between the two teams. Tottenham are a throw on the half. Here's Matthias Tell on the left hand side, having to go back to inside his own half. Tottenham attacking the Kop in this second period. Here's Pedro Porro in possession. Down towards Sousa. Great. Forward it goes towards the half, but Matthias Tell unable to get there, but the ball does go out and Sousa will take it quickly towards Tell, who's got Van Dijk close by to him on this right hand side. Andy Robertson also keeping company, but Van Dijk for touch to knock it out of play. Tottenham throw right side adjacent towards the penalty spot of the penalty area that they are attacking in this second half. 4 minutes of this second period played. Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0 here in the Premier League on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. It's going to be Kevin Danso to take this throw in for Tottenham Hotspur. He's going to launch it long in towards the penalty area. Danso back towards the edge of the advertising hoardings, launching it in towards the near post, glanced away by Van Dijk. It is going to come back out though to Jed Spence. Here's Pedro Porro in possession. Vizdin right-footed towards the box from around about 30 yards out. Richarlison couldn't quite get there, and the flag goes up for offside against the Tottenham Hotspur number 9 in any instance. I think actually it was Danso, the player, that was flagged up offside, because he's the one that's being zoomed in on our monitor in which we're watching this game from. There's a game 50 minutes old. Liverpool still with that solitary goal lead. And looking to add to the tally here. Frimpong away on the right hand side, and he has space to run into. Frimpong. Cross goes in towards the area. Ungamoa. Good touch. Brings it infield. Has a strike on his right foot from around about 15 yards out, but can only blaze it over the bar. It was a really good opportunity, that, for Liverpool to double the lead. Frimpong away on the right hand side, and Tottenham playing with a free sometimes leaves themselves exposed down the flanks. Switch play across the face of the penalty area towards Ungamoa, who brought it inside onto his right foot and then struck it from around about 15 yards out, but his effort forever rising. Ungamoa doing well to win it back for Liverpool in and around the halfway. Here's Gomez out towards the path of Andy Robertson. Left side, 5 yards from the edge of Tottenham territory. McAllister and Ungamoa back towards Andy Robertson again. Robertson infield towards Florian Wirtz, and now Virgil van Dijk in possession here for Liverpool. So Robertson again. Infield, and Joe Gomez finding himself in possession. Being pressed by Solanke over towards Van Dijk. Van Dijk to Robertson. Robertson to Wirtz, who's driving down this left-hand side. He's got Ungamoa out towards his left. He's got Robertson infield to his right. Out to Ungamoa, edge of the area, left-hand side with Pedro Porro for company. Ungamoa towards the byline, hooks it back, flicked away at the near post by Danso. Richarlison looking to further clear it, but one back by McAllister high up. Inside the area is Frimpong. Gravenberch back to goal. McAllister towards Szoboszlai. And now Florian Wirtz in possession for Liverpool. Ungamoa towards the edge of the penalty area, up against Porro, infield to Florian Wirtz now. Ungamoa back towards Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk towards Wirtz again. Ungamoa, edge of the area, he's going to shape himself up to shoot. A curled effort on his right foot, but it's a comfortable gather for Vicario, who gets down low in the Tottenham Hotspur goal. Well, he's had a couple of cracks over the course of the last couple of minutes. Ungamoa, that one finding the target, unlike the previous one, which was blazed over the bar. And here comes Frimpong driving down this right-hand side. Again, Tottenham giving possession away cheaply. Ball goes out. Frimpong was brought down to the ground, fairly in the eyes of the referee. And it will be a Tottenham throw, left side towards the edge of their own penalty area. Jed Spence to take, short to Archie Gray. Here's Spence once again, dispossessed. Frimpong to Wirtz. Wirtz in space, inside the area. He's got Nkamo in support. Nkamo again inside the area. Heavy pass, has to bring it back out to this left-hand side. In towards Wirtz. Robertson, edge of the area. Left side infield towards Wirtz, who manages to find McAllister inside the area, but Archie Gray does well to step in and win the ball back for Tottenham. And as he clears it, it comes off of McAllister, and out of play it will go for a Tottenham Hotspur goal kick. 53 gone, Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0 here in the Premier League on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Dominic Szoboszlai's 18th minute goal, the difference between the two teams so far. Tottenham, who are the only side have had a Premier League win so far in 2026, drawing 4 and losing 7 of their 11 games. Only 5 times has a team gone longer without a win from the start of a calendar year in the competition. That's Crystal Palace in 2016 with 12 and 2023. Middlesbrough in 2017, 14 without a win. Sunderland in 2003 with 17. And Derby County, perhaps unsurprisingly, have the record in 2008 with 18 games in a calendar year without a win. Spurs do have a throw in here. Pedro Porro right side, 15 yards inside the Liverpool half. A quick give and go between him and Pape Sarr, and then as he tried to play it up the field, comes off a Liverpool player for another Spurs throw. Short to this time Archie Gray, being put under pressure by McAllister. Back towards Danso inside his own half, and now Vicario in possession here. Being chased by Gakpo, but manages to launch it upfield as the Tottenham goalkeeper. We're going to find Solanke. It does fall for Richarlison, who's up against Van Dijk and gets a shot away on his left foot. And it's a brilliant save from Alisson. Parries it away from his near post out for a corner on the left side. Now, Richarlison was being tugged by Van Dijk as he was entering the penalty area. Now, he's appealing for a spot kick. And he does grapple the shirt, and grapples it for a long time to the Liverpool captain Van Dijk. Richarlison slipping to the surface as he's got his shot away on his left foot. Alisson doing well to parry it behind for a corner. But Tottenham wanted more than that. They felt as if that was grounds for a potential spot kick. And Virgil van Dijk, the man very much at the epicentre of it. Him and Andy Robertson having a conversation with the referee, but for Liverpool it is a corner kick to defend. 10 minutes gone in this second half. Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0, and Tottenham are going to make their first change. Naby Simons is going to come on, and Sousa is going to be the man to depart. Substitution being made in the 56th minute of this contest. And Liverpool with a corner to defend. Swung in by Spence, right-footed, glanced away by Gomez. Comes back out to Simons on the volley inside the D, and then has a second header. The first one blocked, the second one gathered by Alisson. And Liverpool look to break quickly here. Here's Szoboszlai driving down the left-hand side, beyond the halfway. He's got Nkamo out to his left. Finds him, edge of the area, gets on the outside of Porro, inside the box, hooks it back. But Dragusin managing to get there first inside the 6-yard box and able to clear it away for Tottenham Hotspur. And as quickly as Tottenham were trying to level things up and had a decent attempt from Xavi Simons, Liverpool quickly countered, and they're pressing forward again here. Robertson on the left side, edge of the box out to Nkamo, who has Pedro Porro for company. Now back to Wirtz again. Wirtz to Szoboszlai. He's going to try his luck from distance, comes straight off the head of Szoboszlai from the best part of 30 yards out. It's one back by Gravenberch, who gets the better of Simons, out to Frimpong right hand side, him against Spence. Spence with a brilliant challenge to knock the ball out of play, and it's going to be a Liverpool corner on the right hand side as they attack. 57 gone, 1-0. And Spence having to do that because Frimpong in a good position to launch it back, and there was a whole host of Liverpool players in the penalty area. Tottenham weren't quite set, but They do get that opportunity from the set piece, which will be taken by Florian Wirtz on this right-hand side. It's going to be a right-footed, out-swinging delivery. The likes of Van Dijk and Gomez loitering towards the penalty spot. Short towards Frimpong, up against Tell. Back to Wirtz again. Wirtz will swing it towards Szoboszlai, who swung it in towards the area, came off of Xavi Simons, and free kick will go Liverpool's way. And Mo Salah is coming out to warm up here. He scored 16 goals against Tottenham in all competitions, 14 for Liverpool, 1 for Fiorentina and 1 for Basel. He's joint most against a single opponent, having also scored 16 against Manchester United. 12 of those have come in the Premier League, with only Alan Shearer netting more against Tottenham in the Premier League, 14 goals. Szoboszlai with his free kick for Liverpool. 30 yards out, right side, swung in right-footed, glanced away by Dragusin. Ungamoa up against Spence. That's been a good battle on this near side, and it's Spence who gets the better of that one as he wins Tottenham Hotspur a throw. It's going to be taken by Poe on the right-hand side. He jades it towards his own penalty spot as Igor Tudor gives Matthias Tell a couple of instructions to give to not just himself and his teammates, but a bit too close to the pitch for the fourth official's liking. Just has a word with the Tottenham head coach. Oh, we're looking for options. He takes the throw on the right side. Glance on by Tell. One back by Van Dijk. Wirtz being upended by Sarr, who manages to clear it away only towards the halfway. And Szoboszlai inside the centre circle for Liverpool, who will play it back towards the possession of Joe Gomez. And Gomez will play it back towards Alisson. Gomez, edge of his own penalty area, plays it forward. One back by Sarr. Out towards Simons, who himself loses out to Szoboszlai. Here's Gravenberch, good feet to evade Solanke. McAllister to Gomez and back towards Alisson between the sticks, whereas Richarlison close to him, but keeps his cool and plays it out to Van Dijk. And now Robertson on the left side, up against Matthias Tell. Robertson tried to clear it, Tell got a touch, but Robertson, despite him chasing, manages to play it towards McAllister. Out of Wirtz on this left-hand side. He's got options either side and manages to find Ungamoa. Edge of the area. Down the left flank for Liverpool. Up against Pedro Porro. Brings it in towards Wirtz. Turns. Takes a shot. Comes off a Danso. Cleared away by Jed Spence. And it's going to be a Liverpool throw-in here on the right-hand side, adjacent towards the penalty spot. Here's Frimpong again. Back to Szoboszlai, who took the throw. Hour gone. Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0. You're listening to the Premier League here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Here's Ungamoa, left side edge of the box. This time with Tell up against him. Slips to the floor. Liverpool want a free kick, but it's going to be picked up by Robertson. Short to Van Dijk, and now Andy Robertson again. Wirtz back to goal. Robertson once more. Infield to Alexis McAllister. Szoboszlai back to Gomez. Gomez to Van Dijk. Liverpool just playing it along the middle of the Tottenham half, and now beginning to advance. And Gamoa towards the edge of the box. Back to Andy Robertson. Robertson towards McAllister, and McAllister will find Joe Gomez. Out to the path of Frimpong. Right side up against Spence. Edge of the penalty area. Back to Szoboszlai. Hooks it in first time. Couldn't quite find Gakpo. Tottenham managed to get it clear. Szoboszlai will pick up on the seconds towards the halfway down this right flank, and he'll play it back and infield towards Joe Gomez. Gomez will pick out Van Dijk, and Van Dijk will find the turning Florian Wirtz. Rio Ungamoa towards Robertson again, back towards Joe Gomez inside the centre circle. Gomez to Van Dijk. Andy Robertson again. Out towards Rio Ungamoa, who is having a couple of kicks to him by Pedro Porro, and then one back by Matthias Tell, and now he's driving down this right side for Tottenham in the middle of the Liverpool half of 8-2, and now plays it out towards Xavi Simons on the left, infield towards Sarr, 30 yards out here for Tottenham Hotspur. Simons out towards Jed Spence, up against Szoboszlai, who's making him work for it, and now has to play it back to Simons, who's not being shown by Frimpong. Gakpo with a crucial touch to win it back for Liverpool. Van Dijk looking to clear it out, heavy pass out to Robertson, and it's going to be one back on the halfway for Spurs. Here's Pedro Porro. Out towards Matthias Tell, edge of the penalty area down this near side. Cross goes in, right foot into the back post. Alisson was being confronted in the grill of Solanke, and that's going to result in a Liverpool free kick. And they can just calm and quell the pressure that was being put on them by Tottenham. 62.5 minutes gone. Dominic Szoboszlai's 18th minute goal, the difference between the two. Liverpool 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. And now the introduction of Mo Salah for Liverpool. As I say, 16 goals against Spurs in his career, and it's going to be 2 changes because Hugo Ekitike, Liverpool's top scorer this term, is also going to come on. Ungamoa, who's put in a real shift this afternoon, is going to be the first Liverpool player to depart, and he gets a standing ovation across 3 corners of the Kop. Curtis Jones is also going to come. It's going to be a triple change here for Liverpool. Jeremy Frimpong, the first player to depart. Second player, sorry, shall I say, to depart. And Fabian Wirtz will also depart us. So it's Frimpong for Salah, Wirtz for Jones, and Ungamoa for Ekitike. The triple Liverpool change to try and see this game off. Remember, looking for some fresh legs as well. One, they were making those changes with the game against Galatasaray in Europe in mind. So Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0 as you head towards the final 25 minutes or so of this game at Anfield. Tottenham with possession. And Xavi doing just a bit too much. The ball goes out of play. So into the 65th minute, 25 minutes to go here at Anfield. You're listening to our 4:30 commentary here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. It's Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0, and it's Dominic Szoboszlai's 18th minute goal, which is the difference between the two sides here. A free kick from around about 25 yards out, just off centre towards the left-hand side. Struck beautifully, purely for his right foot. It took a touch off the right hand of Vicario in towards the top left-hand corner, and that's the difference between the two teams, as Spence just stopped Salah in his tracks. It goes back towards the possession of Vicario between the sticks, who will launch it forward right-footed here for Tottenham, beyond the halfway, brought down by Matthias Tell. Now here's Pedro Porro towards Simons, who has space on this left-hand side to drive into. He's also got Spence on the overlap. That's exactly who he finds. Spence, cross goes in right-footed towards the back post, clapped away by Robertson, and Gakpo will get it further clear for Liverpool. Chested down by Pap Sarr as Tottenham win it back. Porro doing well to keep it in play. Matthias Tell up against Robertson. Ekitike doing well to get a touch to the ball, but unable to win it back. Sarr wrestling past him, and now playing out towards Simons. Turning is Sarr again. Simons out to Porro, edge of the penalty area. Cross goes in, right-footed towards the back post. Richarlison's there again, but couldn't quite wrap his head around the ball at the back post. He's been lively this afternoon, the Tottenham number 9. He had a couple of decent chances towards the end of the opening period, but perhaps unsurprisingly he's been rather quiet at the beginning of the second period, as Tottenham have kind of had to be careful about what's been coming up the other end. Remember, defeat this afternoon for Spurs will leave them level on points with both Nottingham Forest and West Ham, who will be level with the bottom 3. Here's Gakpo. He's away here for Liverpool. Look at the drive past Danso, who does so well. He goes to ground, having stood up Gakpo. And the referee, Chris Kavanagh, saying that there was a collision, and it will be a free kick to Tottenham, much to Danso's relief, and I'm sure much to the relief of the couple of thousand in the Anfield Road end. The hearty souls, I suppose you'd have to say, You wouldn't imagine they came here with much optimism of getting something this afternoon, but here's Richarlison, edge of the area, has a strike on his right foot, edge of the tee, but Alisson able to comfortably catch and gather in the Liverpool goal, and now they look to move with Salah, looking to break quickly here. Is Arne Slot's men out to Ekitike, gets a bit of Dragusin, tries to keep his footing inside the area, does so, has a shot on his left foot. Gakpo wadded it squared to him, but Ekitike took the shot on his left foot, blazed over the bar, and a golden opportunity for Liverpool to catch Tottenham on the break. Salah out to Ekitike, never really was able to keep his footing together, but Dragusin showed it enough that he could come inside and then blazed his effort over the bar. Richarlison, we're just having a look at our monitor at his effort a few moments ago. It's a clean strike on his right foot, just couldn't quite get the power needed from that kind of distance to really trouble Alisson between the sticks, but when he's had a little bit of service, which has been in a shortage, perhaps unsurprisingly, he has looked rather effective as the Tottenham number 9. He has looked rather lively. Ball flicked on by Gakpo, straight from the goal kick. Here's Ekitike, Salah in support. Ekitike towards Salah, inside the area. Mo Salah wraps it round his left foot. It takes a deflection en route. Vicario squirming to keep it in play. That surely crossed the whitewash. He's saying no. And I think the referee said that it didn't cross the whitewash either. I'm sure that went out of play. Well, just have a look at the replay. Oh, that is more than dead. That is more than dead. And how that wasn't spotted, and how that wasn't a Liverpool corner, is slightly beyond me. There's been a couple of questionable calls in that regard by the two linos this afternoon. And not on one to call out decisions, but when it's as blatant as that, they're the ones that got to be right. Although at the World Cup we will see those types of calls overturned. It looks like it being said, corner kicks are going to be something that'll be subject to VAR reviews. Tournament which you can listen to live here on Flash Score throughout the course of the summer. Well, the sun is out like it's summer at Anfield, but I could tell you the temperature is anything but. It's still maybe not thick coat weather, but certainly needing to add a layer on top when you're at a ground like this on this Sunday afternoon. Curtis Jones will play the ball back towards Joe Gomez. Gomez in turn back to Alisson, launching it out right footed, but it goes all the way towards Tell. Gakpo does well to win it back, sniffing in from behind and then bringing Liverpool away upfield. Plays it out towards Salah. Salah to Ekitike, just couldn't quite get his footing together, couldn't quite get there. He's going to pick up on the seconds, but he's wide out towards the left. Edge of the area with Porro up against him. Finds Robertson. Robertson hooks it back. Couldn't quite find Gakpo, and Tottenham able to clear their lines. Perhaps Sarr getting it away towards the edge of the penalty area. Gravenberch with a challenge, but Tottenham still come away with it. Solanke on the left, stepping in is Szoboszlai. Salah towards Szoboszlai again, moving infield from the right hand side. Perhaps Sarr dangling his right leg out and retains and regathers possession for Tottenham. And then Szoboszlai conceding a foul, free kick to the visitors on the left side as they attack, 15 yards on the edge of the Liverpool half. 20 minutes to go here at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0 in the Premier League on the Flash Score live audio commentary. So it's a busy week of European action across Flash Score. Begins on Tuesday night. Arsenal taking on Bayer Leverkusen, Chelsea against PSG, and Manchester City against Real Madrid. All live with us on Flash Score. On Wednesday night, Barcelona take on Newcastle, Bayern Munich take on Atalanta, Liverpool take on Galatasaray, and Tottenham Hotspur take on Atletico Madrid live here. And then on Thursday, the Europa and Conference League takeover, Midtjylland take on Forest, Aston Villa against Lille in the Europa League, whilst Palace's trip to AEK Larnaca in the Conference League is also going to be live as part of a busy midweek billing of live action across Flash Score. Tottenham looking to break away here. Xavi Simons has got Tell to his right. Edge of the penalty area here for Spurs. Cross goes in right footed. Glanced away at the near post by Van Dijk. It's going to come back out to Dragusin, who will launch it towards the edge of the box. Robertson will dink it away. And now here's Gakpo looking to unleash Salah on this right side. But Dragusin does well to hold him up. But he gives it away. Salah towards an open goal. Vicario was out. And his right-footed effort goes wide of the left-hand post by a few yards. Salah saying the final touch came in for Dragusin. It should have been a corner. Arne Slot's going mental in the Liverpool technical area. But it was a quick and it does take a touch off his right leg, off his right boot. And it's the second time in a couple of minutes that Liverpool have found themselves on the wrong end of a incorrect call which should have been made a corner. Here's Tell bringing Szoboszlai to the floor, space to run into down the centre, driving into the heart of the Liverpool half. Tripped up by Gravenberch, referee says play on. Spence inside the box on the left side, steps inside, takes a shot, but straight at Alisson in the Liverpool goal. Comfortable catching practice for the Liverpool number one. Launches it forward, right footed beyond the halfway. What a ball that is to Cody Gakpo, but just couldn't quite wrap his foot behind it, and so Danso was able to play it back well and comfortably to Vicario. Porro crossfield ball, forward it goes, glanced away by Gomez. Here's McAllister turning his way past Tell well, but then Richarlison coming in to retain possession. Here is Sarr. Solanke nearly found Richarlison. Robertson couldn't quite clear his lines. Here's Richarlison, right side edge of the box. Cross goes in, right footed towards the back stick. Too heavy for Sarr. Szoboszlai will get it clear for Liverpool. Only as far as Dragusin. Dragusin moving in field, space to work with. Here is Matthias Tell. Tell chips it up, looking to find Solanke. Booted clear by Andy Robertson. Salah up against Gray, and Salah getting the better of Gray, and it's fair in the eyes of the referee, driving down this right hand side, but the pass into Ekitike in the centre, the through ball was poor, and now Tottenham looking to counter again. It's end-to-end stuff here at Anfield. 74 minutes gone, Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0, here on Flash Score. Here is Spence, infield to Tell, edge of the D, takes a shot on his right foot, blocked off of the left foot of Virgil van Dijk, and then a coming together of Gakpo and Matthias Tell goes the way of the Liverpool number 18. Free kick to them, and Tottenham will make a couple of changes. Matthias Tell's afternoon is going to come to an end. He's going to be replaced by Randall Colomuani. And we're going to see the introduction of Callum Oluseyi, who is going to replace Jed Spence for the final quarter of an hour that remain here. Tottenham unable to fill out a bench despite naming two goalkeepers on it. And amongst this injury crisis, it does give Callum the opportunity to shine, making his Premier League debut, born on the 11th of March 2007. Of course, we've spoken about brilliance of young players this weekend, in particular that of Max Dowen. I'm sure the Spurs fans do not need reminding of that. His goal making him the Premier League's youngest goal scorer last night, a game that we brought to you on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. You pretty much listen to the run-in exclusively here across Flash Score. It's at the top or at the bottom, we've got everything covered for you. Szoboszlai driving for the centre, out to Gakpo, edge of the area. Robertson makes an overlapping one, but Gakpo moves it inside. Salah strikes it on his left foot, wrapped it round, but over the top of the crossbar it will go. It was never quite dipping. Well, Liverpool can't say they haven't knocked on the door in this second half. They have had chances, but they've not really had anything clear-cut in front of goal. And why is it still only 1-0? Tottenham will have some outside belief that they can potentially nick something here on this Sunday afternoon. Solanke driving clear, but a foul by Richarlison a couple of seconds earlier concedes a free kick. Curtis Jones, the player being upended for Liverpool, who take on Galatasaray in midweek. Of course, they're looking to overturn that one-goal deficit. And it may well be one of those historic European nights at Anfield under the lights. They're looking for another one of them, looking to overcome another Champions League deficit at home. Here's Gakpo driving infield, getting the better of Colomwani. Gakpo, he's still going, lays it out to Salah on the right. Salah inside the area towards the back post. Robertson hits it across goal, but no one's there. And Tottenham able to clear their lines. Van Dijk will take it out towards the path of Curtis Jones. You feel like Liverpool just want that second, just to give themselves a bit of an insurance policy, to give themselves a bit of a comfort blanket. Because Tottenham have looked lively on the counter. Here's Salah, edge of the area, steps in field, plays it short to Gravenberch. Gravenberch towards Ekitike, couldn't quite get his tricky feet, but it's going to fall for Gravenberch second time, takes a deflection, his effort on his left foot. And through the sea of bodies, it finds Vicario rather comfortably to catch. Well, Gravenberch towards Ekitike, couldn't quite keep his footing, and then Dragusin's tap away could only find Gravenberch, his effort deflected, and then caught by Vicario. Up the other end, Richarlison inside the box, couldn't quite get a foot to it, but here's Gray on the left side, edge of the area, cross goes in, right footed, Richarlison came steaming in around the 6-yard box, but just couldn't quite get his head to it. And if he got any kind of contact from that Archie Gray cross, surely it would have been 1-1 here at Anfield. It was a pinpoint ball, it was delicious from Archie Gray. Swung in right footed towards Richarlison, in and around the 6-yard box. It's been played onside by Joe Gomez. And just couldn't quite get anything to it. Just the smallest of touches. Surely would have seen it past Alisson into the Liverpool net. And Igor Tudor, the Tottenham Hotspur, putting his fingers out to say it was millimetres away from finding his head, and possibly millimetres away from making it one apiece. But that might well be the wake-up call that Liverpool need. Hugo Ekitike foul just beyond the halfway. Kevin Danso, the conceder of the foul. And in terms of goals in the 76-minute plus, Liverpool have scored the most, 17 in that time. But they've also conceded the second most in 14 goals in that period of time. So the end of games are dramatic when Liverpool are involved in the Premier League this season. And it does feel like with just over 10 minutes to go at Anfield, we've got a bit of a grandstand finish. Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0. Dominic Solanke's 18th minute goal, the difference between the two teams here. Ball contested in the middle of the Tottenham half, and it's Spurs who come away with it. Driving in towards Liverpool territory, Colomwani gets the better of McAllister, gets on the inside of Jones, looked to play it across, came from Gravenberch, but then it was Oluseyi, the youngster, who managed to play out to the left side. Back to Colomwani, 25 yards out. May think about having a go here, moving infield, but being forced to play it short to Pedro Porro, who will swing the ball into the box, headed away by Szoboszlai. Salah making chase, putting Simons under pressure, almost won it back. And Simons will pick it up on the halfway on the left side for Tottenham. Infield to Oluseyi. Here's Simons, back to Danso inside the centre circle, just straying inside Liverpool territory. Dragusin short towards Oluseyi. Now, here is Pabsar, out towards the path of Archie Gray. Gray to Solanke, good touch. But Jones put him under pressure, and then one back by Gravenberch. Here is McAllister for Liverpool, looking to break here. Robertson towards the half. Ekitike moving forward, but now straying into an offside position. And Robertson hooks it back towards McAllister in and around the centre circle. Jones towards Szoboszlai, just calming things down a little bit, because the last few minutes have been frantic and frenetic, and Liverpool could do without that. End to end only suits one team down to the ground right now, and that team's Tottenham Hotspur, who, to be fair, has shown signs of endeavour. Probably been the best performance under Igor Tudor so far, but you get the sense even maybe a more positive performance twinned with defeat is still not going to keep him in a job come Wednesday night, and Atletico Madrid in the second leg of the Champions League, although the Champions League is the last of their list of priorities right now. It's going to be all eyes on next weekend, and a game against Nottingham Forest, the biggest game in their Premier League history. Ball going away by Dragusin. Here's Salah. Salah inside the area, dancing past him, hooks it across, comes off of the Tottenham number 3, and it's going to be a Liverpool corner on the right hand side. A set piece for Arne Slot's men to try and double the lead. 82 gone, Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0 here at Anfield. And so Tottenham with another set piece to defend. Pedro Porro, the captain, giving out the marching orders, telling his team to switch on. because for as long as the lead is 1 goal for Liverpool, they're still in the game. If they score a second, you get the sense that they're running to the sunset. Salah to take the corner. Left-footed on this right-hand side towards the near post. Glanced on. And it's going to be watched away by Conor Moane, who's up against Gravenberg. Cleared away right-footed, but one back by Dominic Szoboszlai. Liverpool going to make their 4th change. Trey Nyoni is going to come on. And he is going to replace Cody Gakpo, who has had a quiet afternoon in front of goal for Liverpool, if the truth be told. And Trey Nyoni will come on in his place. So the change is being made in the 83rd minute of the contest. 7 to go of normal time plus stoppages. Liverpool leading Tottenham by that solitary Dominic Szoboszlai goal to 0 here in the Premier League on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Reminder, tomorrow night we're at the G-Tech Community Stadium for Brentford against Wolves. Our live coverage getting underway from 8 p.m. Ekitike wins the ball back, edge of the area on this left side, plays it across, no one there, and Archie Gray able to comfortably clear in the middle of the Tottenham Hotspur penalty area. Comes back out to Van Dijk on the half. Robertson infield towards Nyoni. Here's Hugo Ekitike up against Pedro Porro, back to Nyoni again. Here's Joe Gomez. Gomez back to Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk finding Nyoni. Nyoni towards Virgil van Dijk. Pings it out towards the right-hand side, but that might well be a bit too much for Salah to chase. No, it's not. He's done really well there, Salah. Up against Gray towards his far corner flag. Trying to hook it back in. It was deflected only as far as Szoboszlai. Steps in field. He's going to strike one on his left foot, but it goes wide of the right-hand post by about 3-4 yards. It was worth the endeavour from Dominic Szoboszlai. It's been a lot of huff and puff in terms of the build-up play, but no real end product for Liverpool in this second half, so decided to have a stab himself. It's his goal, of course, that is the difference between the two sides. Gomez out towards Szoboszlai again, plays it forward along that right-hand side. Salah being kept touch tight by Dragusin. Manages to win Liverpool a throw down the middle of the Tottenham Hotspur half. 5 minutes to go here at Anfield. You're listening to the Premier League on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. We're at Anfield, where Liverpool lead Tottenham Hotspur by Dominic Szoboszlai's 18th minute goal to 0. His free kick rifling into the top left-hand corner, and that the difference between the two sides as we head into the final 5 minutes of normal time here. Gomez will play it back towards Alisson. Alisson out towards Gomez again, being put under pressure by two. Papsar regathers it for Liverpool, but Gomez getting it clear again. Here's Simons. McAllister comes off his own man, back towards the path for Solanke. Szoboszlai wanted the flag to go up for offside. Here's Simons, now back towards Archie Gray again. Cross goes in right-footed, and Alisson is going to watch that go out. It was fizzed way too heavily by the Liverpool number 14 in the end, and so out of play it will go for a goal kick. 4 minutes to go. Liverpool 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0 on our Sunday 4:30 offering across the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Don't forget, this time next week we'll have the Carabao Cup final for you as Manchester City and Arsenal go head-to-head for the first piece of domestic silverware this season. Our Premier League weekend gets underway on Friday night as Bournemouth take on Manchester United from 8, and then Saturday Brighton take on Liverpool. The solitary 3 o'clock game is Fulham against Burnley. Everton take on Chelsea, and Leeds are up against Brentford. That's the 5:30 and 8 o'clock game respectively. Then Sunday afternoon, Newcastle against Sunderland from 12 o'clock, and then Aston Villa take on West Ham, shall I say, and Tottenham take on Forest at 4:15 for that Carabao Cup final at 4:30. So that's the card marked for next weekend across the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Tottenham get themselves a free kick just beyond the halfway on the right-hand side. 3 minutes to go. Porro to take, and he's imploring every other outfield player to head towards the penalty area, or at least towards the edge of it. Swings it in. Alisson comes and he punches away. Salah We're going to get the better with Sarr, but Sarr does well, sliding in and winning the ball back. Simons in space to drive into. Out towards Archie Gray on this left-hand side, up against Szoboszlai. Gray. Play back towards Pap Sarr. Sarr towards Archie Gray once more. Infield towards Simons, turning, getting the better. McAllister has a strike on his right foot, low drilled edge of the box, but towards the bottom right-hand corner it went, but it was a comfortable gather for Alisson between the sticks for Liverpool. And perhaps unsurprisingly, took all the time he wanted, then launched it long. Ekitike couldn't get there. Jones will get onto the second ball. Here's Andy Robertson on this left-hand side. 2 minutes of normal time to go. Liverpool with a slender 1-goal lead here at Anfield. McAllister with 2 up against it. Brought down by 2, but Tottenham come away with it, and fairly in the eyes of the referee. Colin Morani was looking to find Solanke. Cleared away by Van Dijk. Here's Pedro Porro, who'll play it back towards Vicario between the sticks. Vicario lost it out towards the left-hand side. Gray over the top towards the path of Simons. Can Tottenham find something late on here? Infield towards Olusesi. Now Simons again. Played out towards Pedro Porro, right-hand side. Andy Robertson keeping him at bay. Now back towards Danso. 10 yards inside the Liverpool half. Back towards his own territory and towards Dragusin, who turns back to goal and will play it back to the goalkeeper, Vicario. 1 minute of normal time to go. Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0 in the Premier League on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Long kick forward, but it's fallen here towards Colin Wine inside the air. Plays it across. Richarlison levels up for Tottenham Hotspur in the last minutes of normal time. How big a goal could that be in this season? For Igor Tudor, that could be the goal that gets him off the mark. And Richarlison, who has looked lively all game, has found the goal that gets them back on terms. Liverpool, who have been wasteful in their pursuit of a second, have been punished by Tottenham's number 9, who rolled the ball from around about 12 yards out into the bottom left-hand corner, right in front of a stunned Kop. Long ball forward from Vicario. Robertson doesn't deal with it. Colin Mawani picks it up. Into the area he went. Squared it across towards Richarlison, who found himself in space inside the area. And then, first time on his right foot, wrapped the ball past Alisson into the bottom left-hand corner. And into the first of 5 stoppage time minutes. Tottenham are back on terms. Liverpool 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1, and Richarlison with a goal which could be so key in their race for Premier League survival. And the look of the Tottenham fans and the Anfield Road stand was of disbelief. And now Liverpool pushing and probing for a winner. We said there could be a grandstand finish. Here's Curtis Jones. Out towards Robertson, left side. Cross goes in. It's a wasteful ball in. And it goes out for a goal kick. And all of a sudden, the energy around this place has completely shifted. Tottenham with the momentum going into the final 4 minutes of stoppage time. Vicario being spoken to about the referee, about time wasting. I mean, in their situation, you can hardly blame Tottenham. In the interim, Federico Chiesa's come on here for Liverpool. And Alexis McAllister is the player to be withdrawn. Here come Liverpool with Salah over the top, looking to find Chiesa. Colin Mawani out towards Archie Gray. Can Tottenham win this all of a sudden? Can't quite get the better of Szoboszlai. Ball goes out, and the throw-in's going to go in Liverpool's direction. Final few moments here at Anfield. 3 minutes of stoppage time to play. Liverpool 1, Tottenham 1. The 18th minute goal of Dominic Szoboszlai cancelled out by Richarlison's efforts in the final minutes of normal time. And I can imagine that there might well be one or two words exchanged by Arne Slot in the dressing room if Liverpool were to drop 2 points here. A win would have put them up to fourth in the Premier League table, with Aston Villa having lost at Old Trafford against Manchester United earlier on this afternoon. But can they find a late winner? 2 minutes of stoppage time still to play. There's still time for both sides to win this. Szoboszlai punts it forward. Salah on the chase. That's to Dragusin, but it's going to be a comfortable take for Vicario between the sticks of Tottenham Hotspur. Recycles it out towards the left-hand side and towards the possession of Pape Sarr. Here's Xavi Simons. Infield towards Solanke. Couldn't quite find Archie Gray. And now here's Joe Gomez for Liverpool. Can they win it late on? Back towards Virgil van Dijk. Can they win it again late on, I suppose, is the question. Robertson to van Dijk. Out to Szoboszlai. Straying just inside Tottenham territory. Ione out towards the path of Gravenberg. Here's Szoboszlai, 35 yards out, infield towards Van Dijk. 90 seconds of stoppage time to go, one apiece. Robertson back to Ekitike. Ekitike moves infield, back towards Van Dijk, 30 yards out. Van Dijk towards Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai steps infield, now towards Van Dijk. Van Dijk slowly building play up here for Liverpool. Szoboszlai out towards the path of Ione. It was Gravenberg with the heavy touch, receives it away for Tottenham, and now they look to break here. Ball play forward, out towards the path of Simons. Simons, he's got company inside the penalty area. Xavi Simons moves inside, has a shot, comes off of a Liverpool player. Tottenham are going to watch it go, and they're going to get a late corner on this right-hand side. And they are going to make one final change. And they're going to bring on James Wooswell. He's going to replace Richarlison. James Wooswell, 19 years of age. Just looking to see it out. And the goal scorer, perhaps unsurprisingly, Richarlison, getting a big round of applause. The Anfield Road end from the Tottenham fans. And again, unsurprisingly, that he's going to take his time to leave the field of play. And Wooswell will come on. And he could make himself the hero if he rises highest to this corner kick, which will be taken on this right-hand side. We've eaten up about a minute of stoppage time because of that substitution. This will be pretty much close to the final play of the game. Xavi Simons with this corner kick for Tottenham Hotspur at the Kop on the right-hand side. He's going to swing it out on his right foot. Fizzed into the back post. It's glanced on across the face of goal. Flicked away by Ekitike. Porro brings it back in there. And now Liverpool look to break. Ekitike bursting beyond the halfway. It's 3-on-2. It's Ekitike still going. Ekitike to Chiesa. Ekitike turns, shoots, blocked, cleared by Dragusin. And then to end finale to this game, and we're still going. Tottenham bring it forward with Solanke. It's a bonkers end here at Anfield. He'll head towards the corner if he can, but Van Dijk's going to stop him from doing so. Last chance to learn. Robertson with a poor pass. Tottenham have it back, and they should surely get their point now. Pape Sarr towards Colomboani. Simons slowing it down. Colomboani, Simons, they could win it here. Porro inside the area, right side, plays it across, cleared by Van Dijk. How much longer have we got left? The ball goes out for Liverpool throw. Chris Kavanagh has a look at his watch. Igor Tudor wants the full-time whistle to go, and the full-time whistle does go. He gets his first point in charge of Tottenham Hotspur. How pivotal a point could it be? It lifts them just a solitary point clear of the bottom three, but at this stage of the season, every point is a pivotal point. And it was a point that was won by Richarlison, who, striking the 89th minute, has salvaged a point for Tottenham Hotspur. Liverpool were in control for large swathes of that game, and they will probably look back at this as a huge opportunity missed. They would have gone back into the top four of a win this afternoon. They looked on track when Dominic Szoboszlai hit a beautiful free kick in the first half. Vakama got a hand to it, he couldn't quite keep it out. Liverpool huffed and puffed. Tottenham, though, always looked lively on the counter-attack, and that was exactly where they got their goal from. The ball threaded through by Papsar, with Van Dijk giving possession away in towards the path of Richarlison, who then slotted home first time into the bottom left-hand corner. For Liverpool, it's 2 points dropped. For Igor Tudor and Tottenham, that is a massive point, and perhaps potentially a massive step back in the right direction. What a thrilling game we've seen at Anfield. It's finished here. Liverpool